Hey guys, my name is Adam Pearl and I'm a currency strategist at Dodjit.com. What I want to do in this video is go over a few charts on the Forex market. I want to explain what happened yesterday in the Forex market regarding the two interest rate decisions. And also what I want to do is I want to just explain what's going to happen today because we've got a very important piece of economic data coming out, unemployment results in the US. So let's get started. Now, before I start analysing the charts, plotting the different trend lines, stuff that we do on each video, I just want to explain what happened yesterday. There were two interest rate decisions, one from the ECB, the European Central Bank, and one from the Bank of England. The Bank of England reduced its central rate by 0.5%, while the ECB kept their rate at their current level of 2%. Now, from the BOE, from the Bank of England, what we understood from their statement is that the risk to the downside is still there. They didn't really make it clear enough as to whether they're going to decrease their interest rates and by how much. That's the major thing at the moment, by how much. Everyone's sure at the moment that they're going to have to continue to reduce their interest rates. They might even have to reach a rate which is roughly like the US of 0.25. But the question is how much? By how much are they going to reduce their interest rates at their next meeting? So that really wasn't stated. And what happened is that the pound just started to rally. On the other hand, the European Central Bank, as always, they were more reluctant regarding their speech. Now, what they did say is that there's significant weakening of corporate credit, but they are reluctant to bring their rates down to zero. Now, the reason behind that is because they don't want to fall into a liquidity trap, which is basically when a central bank has low interest rates and they just don't affect the economy. So in both economies, there are risks to the downside. We are seeing risks to growth in both the economies, and we're also seeing inflation slowly decrease in both the economies. Now, we must take into consideration that while both the banks have stated that they might continue to decrease their interest rates, the ECB is still a little bit more reluctant than the BOE. So we have to take that into consideration. That's why we're actually seeing here a little bit of price stability due to all the uncertainty. Alright, so now let's go over to the charts. Let's start analysing and see what's going on. On the Euro US dollar, this is daily chart. We can see that basically we've been going nowhere. We've kind of like broken this support level roughly around here, but we're not heading lower. We're just traveling around this area, consolidating around this area. There is minor support just around here, so we're basically stuck around this 127, 128 area. What I want to see what's going to happen today with the unemployment results in the US. I'm hoping that we're going to see some type of market direction, either breaking this trend line roughly around here, or to continue at least lower, roughly to the 1.25 area. That's regarding the euro against the US dollar. If I just flip to the pound for a second, let's just zoom in on this chart. It's also a daily chart. By the way, the charts that I'm using are net Dania charts. We can see that we broke this trend line roughly around here, like that. This one, roughly around there. Broke this trend line roughly around here. We're heading up higher. We are now approaching trendline resistance. I would look for a slight bounce off of this trend line, especially as we've been heading higher already for roughly around 2 weeks. If we just take a look, we're just going to add on an indicator. We're going to add on the RSI. Here we're even showing you how to use the Dania charts here. If we just add on an RSI, we can see that we're starting to come to areas which have shown us overbought areas in the past. We can see if we look here, each time we reach this area, we had a slight retracement. So we can see it here as well. We can see it here as well. So what I am looking for is I'm looking for a slight bounce off of this trend line. And then what I reckon is going to happen is we're probably going to continue to consolidate around these areas. Again, we have to watch out for what's going to happen in the US today with the NFP results. Let's just go over to the last chart. The last chart is the dollar against the Japanese yen. Now, this chart gave an amazing intraday rally yesterday. Let's just zoom in on this chart for a second. Now, for a while already, I've been stating that we've received this type of double bottom around here. If you look carefully on the charts, we can see that it managed to find support around this area, managed to find support around this area. And if we look carefully, we've also got support around this area. And look at this candlestick. This is amazing. This is a lovely candlestick, lovely bullish candlestick. We are starting to follow through today. Again, we're going to have to wait for the results from the US to see what's happening. What I also do want to state is this. Yesterday, US stocks had a really good session as well. They closed up roughly around over 2%, something like that, 2.5%. Now, if we look carefully, as we know, there is a strong correlation between the US dollar, Japanese yen, and the S&P 500. Now, I've been looking closely at the chart for the last couple of weeks, and what's been happening is that every time that stocks rally, the dollar Japanese yen doesn't follow through in the same direction. And that's made us a little bit reluctant about taking trades. Now, what happened yesterday was that the S&P 500 closed up in positive territory, and the dollar Japanese yen also closed up higher. We can see this. It happened here. And it was significantly higher. We can see it broke this trend line, this minor trend line here. It found support roughly around this area. We are looking for a target roughly around here, which it hit it. Maybe another target roughly around there. The main thing is it did start to head higher. We want to look for a follow through today with the NFP results, the unemployment results coming out in the US. We're just going to have to keep you posted, see how today's market session is going to follow through and how it's going to turn out. And we'll keep you posted. So look out for a video over the weekend. This is Adam from Dodjit.com.